Michigan, and we're having a very, very intimate interview with gospel artist, singer, songwriter extraordinaire Charles Martin, because you got a new single that's coming out called Truth. I want to ask you a few questions. I want to get in your business.
Okay.
Get in your business. My first question: would you consider yourself a church boy?
You know, that church boy cliche is kind of strange sometimes to me. But after it's all said and done, at the end of the day, I'm a church boy.
Okay, what about the beginning of the day?
Now, I'm not always a church boy at the beginning, and some other parts may not be, and that's just the truth. But when it's all said and done, I'm a church boy, and I'm proud to be a church boy.
Okay. Now, I want you to think about this answer for a minute, because out of everything that you've done in your life, all your travels, everybody that you've met, everybody that you sang with and everything, what has been your greatest accomplishment? Be it spiritual, mental, emotional, physical. What has been your greatest accomplishment? Like he was like, okay, this is it.
Wow, that's a good question. You're bringing them today.
Okay.
That's a good question. You know what? You can do a lot of great things on this earth, a lot of great things on this planet. But at the end of the day, you need to have a family, I believe, to come back to, children, things to that extent, you know, but don't get me wrong. Inspiring people is what I'm here to do.
Okay.
And that's my passion.
Okay. So you're a father?
I'm a father.
Okay, so listen, let's talk about being a father. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Charles the father as opposed to Charles the artist. Do they ever run together when you're interacting with your child?
That's good. It's good. You got some good questions. Because before, you know, I was a father, I was an artist, and you know, and I sang with Voices of Unity for many years with Dietrich and with Fred Hammond. We was traveling all around the world, you know. And so I recall being in London, calling back to my wife, how you doing? She's about to have a baby. Because we were going every single weekend. I was gone. So, but when I actually come back home, there's another side of me. I'm a little bit more laid back, a little bit, you know, not as energetic all the time. You know, there's a different side to me. But sometimes in the family, some of the things may cross because of the obligation and responsibility and the call in your life. So sometimes some of those things they cross. I mean, you don't always want them to, but it's just a part of your life. And you just hope and pray that your family become accustomed or used to some of that when they cross, you know.
Okay, now I need you to get this. Love is what?
Love is unconditional. That's what I believe love is. Real love, I think that's what it is.
Forgiveness is what?
It's a good one. Forgiveness is letting go of things, moving forward, and still having love, regardless of what it is you have to forgive about.
Okay.
Still having love.
You are at your greatest peace when what?
My greatest peace. That's a good question. You know, that's a good question.
It could be more than one thing. It could be, you know, you could have your family peace, your peace on stage. It could be more than one thing.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that's a good question. What I've had to learn through a lot of years is that your peace does not come from your outer circumstances. That the peace has to be defined by my inner self, and my inner self being connected with Him. But oftentimes we all get that confused. I've gotten that confused within my life, thinking that my outer circumstances determines what real peace is. And it's been a journey for me in my own life to figure that out and become whole with that.
Okay. Out of everything that you've experienced, I want to take you back to Charles when he was 6 years old, 7 years old, elementary school. Were you ever that child that was teased or bullied or picked on in school?
Absolutely. I can remember times in school where the kids would bully you, they would try to tease you, but at a certain extent, you had to learn to stand up for yourself.
So what did they tease you about? Because they bullies kind of pick one particular thing, and that's the thing that everybody teases you.
Right. I was always that nice Charles. I was always that good guy. I wasn't always trying to fight all the boys and fight all the girls or whatever. I was that nice guy. And for whatever reason, to be honest, this is a really true story. When I was younger, a lot of the little girls used to like me all the time. And so the little boys, they didn't like that. Okay. they didn't like it. And I remember, being a young boy, in the first grade and stuff, we just want to play. We're not trying to, have little girlfriends. We just want to play. But the girls was a little bit different. The boys didn't like it,
They gave you problems.
Oh, gave me problems. Gave me problems, and I was a nice guy. I wasn't out there fighting them and stuff. I was a nice guy. And they probably thought I was too soft because I was like that. I wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? And I come from a household like that. So that's something I have to learn is to really stand up for myself, And when I did, I did.
Oh, see,
I did.
That's how you drug somebody across the playground and everything. Like,
and I stood up.
You just snapped and just.
One day was like that.
I understand. All it takes is one day.
It takes one day. Change your life.
And everything. Say it again.
Change your life.
Come on now. Let my tambourine. So we're dealing with right now. I think it's sort of a double pandemic that we're dealing with. First of all, we're dealing with a physical pandemic, COVID-19. I don't know. I can't think of anybody that has not been affected by COVID-19, coronavirus, or whatever. Ministers, leaders, heads of state, family members, or whatever.
Right.
And then we're dealing with, on top of that, we're dealing with the whole Black Lives Matter, the police brutality, that whole situation, all of those things. So it's kind of layered. As you live through this, and as you walk through all of this, as you go through all of this, let's talk about how COVID-19 has affected your life and the normalcy that you had in your life one day, and then the next day it was gone.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. Being a black man in America this time, and you see COVID-19 here, and so many people that I know have been impacted by COVID-19, from them contracting it to them even dying. So it's been such a tragedy to me to see all of this. I'm on Facebook, and it was some dark times. When this thing hit, it was some really, really dark times. And then with all the stuff spinning off, the Black Lives Matter and all of the atrocities that you're seeing, the police brutalities and things like this, it's really, really disheartening. You hope and you pray that at some point we had moved past some of this. We are all in the flesh. We're human beings. I don't think it will ever be a perfect world. Not until Christ comes back. There'll never be a perfect world. So, but some of these things are reminiscent of completely the 60s. Like, we've moved back. And so I think that it's a need. It needs to be expressed about what's going on. Anytime people discuss things like this or they have something to say, unfortunately there is bloodshed. It's all been like through history, it's been bloodshed, unfortunately, but this issue needs to be brought to the front, and truth needs to be at the front of it all.
Okay. I got a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
We talk about, and you and I have had this conversation, about black people, black men of color, and the stigma related to being healthy mentally. And a lot of people don't want to address men or women that, hey, I'm in a dark place. I'm not feeling my usual self. I don't want to get out of bed today. I don't want to eat. Or even with younger people, what used to be a priority to children, they may be going through something that's not a priority anymore. They don't want to play the video game. They come in and go to their room or whatever the case may be. You and I talk about this, but I want you to talk to everybody that is watching this interview about being healthy and in a good place mentally, and how important that is, and maybe some of your challenges that you dealt with, prayed through, and you got to where you are now.
That's a real thing. Mental health is something that, it seems like it's kind of coming to the forefront on some points right now. You see people kind of, the mental health thing, because of all the situations that we're seeing now with people, trying to commit suicide, and all of the lack of love that we're seeing on social media, just all across the world. And it's something I've had to struggle with. What I've noticed about some things and points in life is that, we can be in church all our life, we can be built up in the faith, we can be built up in the things of God, we can prophesy to people, we can preach to people, we can sing the house down, we can do all of these things, but not until we face some of our greatest battles do we actually know, can we really live that thing out, or how am I going to be affected? Because we say the scriptures, we say all this wonderful stuff, but when you go through some tough battles, you can say the scriptures over and over again, but then you're like, I might need a little bit of help right here. I've been through some things in my life, I've been through a loss of a family, of a divorce, after 24 years of being in a relationship, and it was tough. I would say, it was a greater battle than even losing my mother. It was a tough battle. So at some point, I was disappointed in myself. I was disappointed in her and how it all went down. I was just disappointed. So at some point, I had to go get some help, some therapy, talk to somebody who I still talk to on a regular basis, to get some mental health and to talk through those things and see how do we actually work through these challenges of life? Because some things come that you could never imagine. Never imagine. So that happened to me, something I could never imagine. And I think that's one reason sometimes people have a hard time when you have a lot of faith, is because you're like, wait a minute, now I know I can fight just about any battle, but this is a great one. So when it's something that you could never imagine, it's something that you really need some help about. And I hope in our community, being African Americans, it's not something that we always talk about.
Of course not.
We didn't grow up with parents that went to therapy.
Oh, of course not.
When they probably all should have.
And to be, I was going to say that. Listen, if the truth be told, we have some parents. If we put our group of friends together, there were some parents that definitely needed maybe some substance abuse counseling, maybe some mental health counseling,
That's right.
maybe lay on the couch, the floor, whatever, and talk to somebody. But we talk to, ain't nothing wrong with you. Go to bed, it's okay, it'll be all right in the morning.
That's right.
But we do that because we don't want anybody to see our frailty. I think you're a stronger person sometimes when you can reach out. But I also think sometimes people that are in the church, and not to say that God won't deliver you from everything, but God also says, hey, these are the resources here. You and I are wearing glasses probably because if we don't wear them, we'll run into something if we drive.
Right.
Now that doesn't mean we are lesser than a Christian, that means we need some assistance.
That's right. That's right.
So I think when we think of assistance, we'll take our blood pressure medicine, we'll take our insulin, if we're diabetic, we'll go work out at the gym. If the doctor say we need to work out at the gym, we go to the dentist and get our teeth fixed. But when you talk about mental health, people are like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with me, it's all right, I'm call my auntie and talk to her on the phone. And auntie got a whole bunch of stuff she dealt with.
Right.
So I think that was very important that you mentioned that especially as a man.
That's right. And growing up in church, it's not something that's talked about. We always told you go pray, you go fast, you go do all these wonderful things, but nobody tells you to go get help. And then when they do go get help, they get help from the pastors who need help.
Ooh.
So just bring it out.
Shout out.
Just bring it out.
I'm like really okay.
So we go get help in-house from other people that really need help as well, who really have never had any clinical training, nothing like that. So it's a double-edged sword when we talk about stuff like that. So they just tell you, just go pray. Because really and truly, you're supposed to be this person of faith. You don't talk about stuff.
But see, the word says faith without works is dead.
It's dead.
So you got to activate that faith. Like a
That's
Jerry
right.
curl. You got to put some activate on that faith. Listen,
That's
now
right.
I'm a boy J girl. I did.
Had escrow.
Okay, same thing.
Escrow back in the
Had to
day.
put the
Activate.
activator on
That's
to
right.
get the curl pattern.
That's right.
You got to do the same thing with your face.
That's right.
You can have all the faith in the world, but you got to move in the direction of that faith and where that faith is taking you. Come on, now.
Come on,
real,
now.
oh, that preach real good one
I
day.
have to play around, I think, a little bit.
Listen, come on now. We're going to play the faith. Ain't nobody really here. We're going to get nobody. We're going to go outside. So, okay, so you got the single coming out, true.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. But before you do that, I want to hear you sing. I want to hear. Hold on, let me get a sip of water. I may have to help.
Yeah, because you might have to help.
I'm helping right over here. This is Coco's position, right here. Right here, I'm just sitting, gonna be cute like this. See how I put my legs together like a little ballerina? Go ahead, sing.
So you know, it's just a little song that's been kind of on my mind today. You know, because when I talk about truth and stuff, it's really talking about the love of God. How it's important that we reveal truth, because at the end of the day, you can't reveal what you can. You can't heal what you won't reveal. And
say that 2 more times.
You cannot heal what you will not reveal.
Ooh.
So you know, at the end of the day, if I can't tell my story, I can't help nobody else. I mean, you know, the greatest preachers in this world are the ones that are transparent for real about themselves.
Yes.
But don't preach to me, you ain't living.
Ooh.
That's a whole different conversation. But you know, but I've been in this thing a long time. So it's the truth.
But you think about the disciples. All of them had issues.
All of them.
And if you think about people that Jesus used in the Bible, they had a lot of stuff. Moses was a murderer and a stutterer. David, well, you know, David did some everything, had some everything going on. We're going to even talk about Peter. Peter was cutting folks' ears off. So if Peter was in 2020,
he had an anger problem.
He would be a felon with a pistol and a bad attitude.
That's the boy you need next to you, though.
Listen, that's the man I used to date. But anyway.
Keep the room big. You know.
Come on, you ain't going to Come on. Go ahead. Go.
How many times can I say how much I love you, Lord? I think about 1,000,000 times. Would do it or could it? How many times can I say how much I need you, Lord? I think about 1,000,000,000 times. Would do it or could it?
All right, we got it. That's it.
Just a little something.
What is your takeaway from everything that's going on in your life or whatever? Give the folks a nugget. They need a nugget, a gem. You ain't got to give them a 2 or 3 carrot. You can give them a half a carrot.
Just a little bit.
The light hit it right, but they got to do it like
I'm
that.
going to give them a gold nugget.
Yes, give them a nugget.
You know, this life may bring you some rough battles, some tough battles, some things that you think that you can't get up from, some places where you think that you might just die. I mean, I felt like I was going to die sometimes. But what I do know, that there's a brighter day coming, and there's a better day coming. And if you hold strong, believe him, talk to somebody when you need to, God is always going to be there for you. He's always there.
All right.
That's
Amen.
what I do.
Amen. And the shout out for that.
Hey. Come on, somebody.
I'm a knee rubber. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm excited about my single.
Yes.
My single will be out August 7th is the big premiere.
Okay.
August 7th. You can pre-order it now. I'm super excited about
Where can they get it? Tell them all the platforms they can get it.
iTunes, Google Play, iHeart. There's all the platforms.
And how can people follow you?
Hey, all of my social media is official Charles Martin. That's Instagram. You go to Facebook and find me. Twitter, official Charles Martin. That's how you can find me.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you how y'all can find me. Coco the Comic on Instagram and Twitter. And then my name is Ginger Hudson on Facebook. That's my alter ego. Ginger Hudson. And I got a Carmen San Diego fedora hat on, fedora on the picture. Don't ask how we got to Ginger Hudson. Just know if you see that Carmen San Diego hat, that's me. Amen.
It was good talking to you this conversation.
It was good listening.
It was good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lord, I need your help. Lord, I need your guidance. Lord, I need your wisdom. Please tell me the truth. Oh, truth. I need the truth. I need gotta have it in my life. This road to freedom seems real hard to my flesh. Heal the wounds of my iniquities. I will endure to the oh, truth, truth. Thank you for allowing for your truth. Thank you for your grace. Truth. I need your mercy. I need your will be done. I need the truth. Oh, oh, give it to me, Lord. I'm standing right here, waiting on you, Lord. Give it to me. Oh, the Son has set free. It's free. It's free indeed.